Hey guys, this is our 704 practice video. Our first key point here, we're just going to go ahead and review everything we did from last week. So, an angle is defined as the space between two intersecting lines or line segments. Angles are measured in degrees. Two angles are complementary if they add up to 90 degrees. Two angles are supplementary if they add up to 180 degrees. And just as a reminder, it says two angles here. That's true for two angles, but it's also true if it's three angles or four or five. It can be more than two as well. An angle with a measure of 90 degrees is called a right angle. So that would just be one angle by itself. And the measure of a straight angle is 180 degrees. Congruent angle is angles that have the same measure or equal measure. And then an adjacent angle is angles that have a common vertex and a common line segment, but no common interior points. So they're going to share that same middle part, but then they don't necessarily have anything else in common, and they don't necessarily add up to something specific. Okay, so for our investigation, we're going to look at the diagram below. Lines 1 and 2 are perpendicular. If we think back to last week, or if you look at your vocab sheet, you'll see perpendicular means they meet at 90 degrees. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a little 90 in there. Angle B measures 20 degrees. What is the measure of angle C? So we know that we have two perpendicular lines, so all of these are 90 degrees. So where I drew this first little box for 90, I could have drawn this anywhere because all of these are 90. Right now though, since I'm looking at angle B, I'm going to just leave one little box. Now, what this tells me is that angles B and C are complementary because I know that those make 90 degrees. So let's say if I know they're complementary, then angle B plus angle C should equal 90 degrees. We know angle B is 20 degrees, and we don't know angle C, so we can give it a variable. And we can solve. And we have, let's call this C, or we could say measure of angle C equals 70 degrees. So on the lines, let's go ahead and explain what we did. So we knew B and C are complementary. So we solved an equation for B. Or for C, sorry. All right, what is the sum of angle measurements C and A? So again, looking back, we said perpendicular meant all four of these were 90 degrees. So I know angle A is 90 degrees. So if I have C and A, we have 90 and 70 would give me 160 degrees. Let's see next part. I'm going to erase my little boxes. Here we go. Label the angle that's vertical to angle B with an X. Last week we talked about this vocab right here, vertical. If we remember, vertical angles are opposite each other on intersecting lines. So I have to look opposite B, and that's going to be right there. What is the measure of angle X? Again, last week we learned vertical angles are congruent or equal, so that means that angle X is 20 degrees. We're going to label the angle complementary to angle X with a Y. Again, complementary meaning adds to 90. So if I look here, I know this was 90. So we got Y over here. And then the measure of angle Y, again, we can do kind of like what we did for C. 20 plus Y is 90. So Y is 70 degrees. All right, we are done with our investigation. I want you guys to actually pause the video right here and do the next practice with, or just do that on your own. It's just color coding, and then I'm actually going to go through the check for understanding when you're done with that. So pause right now, do the next practice section. Okay, when you're done with practice, I want you to try this check for understanding. Again, pause it and try it on your own, and then check with the video. So here we go. Measure of angle BDE is 32 degrees. So BDE is right here, so I'm going to put 32 degrees. What is the measure of angle BDF? When I look at these two, it looks like they share a line right here. If I'm missing this piece, but I know they share this line. That means they are supplementary. So I'm going to say 32, I'm going to call this missing piece x, plus x equals 180 degrees. Subtract this 32. And we have x equals 148. So again, to explain our reasoning, we said angle BDE and BDF are supplementary. They share that straight line. So they add to 180. And BDF, we just solved, is 148 degrees. Awesome, check that work. Make sure in all your problems today you're finding out what is the relationship between the two angles. You're either looking for complementary, something like this, supplementary, something like this, or vertical, something with intersecting lines. Those pictures might combine somehow, but these are the three key pieces of information you're looking for. Complementary, make your equation equal to 90. Supplementary, make your equation equal to each other. And on vertical, just make sure that your two angles set up are equal to each other. So there's not necessarily a total on vertical, it's just angle equals angle. Good luck with the rest of today's lesson. You guys got it.